Who's playing?
Viven en un country. Andan en BMW para arriba. Los fines de semana se cogen a las mejores minas. Morfan bien todos los días. El día anterior al partido durmieron tranquilamente en un hotel 5 estrellas y se rascaron la verga durante 24 horas sin hacer nada, jugando al ping-pong y al pool y a la play. Juegan al fútbol todos los días de su vida. Los botines, $6.000, $5.000, no sé cuánto salen, ponele 3.000 mangos, 4.000 mangos, están vendados por un kinesiólogo. Están bien comidos, están bien entrenados. Las medias, que son las que no te cortan la circulación, los pantaloncitos, que son los de los huevos, que no te raspan los huevos, la camiseta te estira la espalda, es la que no transpira, que sale 800 pesos, no sé cuánto sale una camiseta para jugar al fútbol. La pelota es perfecta, perfecta, 120 euros. Inflada con un barómetro a 8 bares. La cancha no tiene un solo pozo. El arco tiene 7 metros 20 por 2,40. Te aplauden cuando salís a la cancha. La concha de tu madre, no sabés parar una pelota. Le vas a pagar al arco y la tirás a la mierda. Le vas a hacer un pase a tu compañero que está a 1 metro. Y así se la pasas mal. Hijo de puta, eso me puede pasar a mí con esta panza. No hago.
Seems a bit upset, that guy.
He's Argentine and they won the World Cup.
That's the best guy that's the best rant I've ever seen. I respect that guy and understand every word he said. Do you know what it is, Kenny? When you think about it, you live in the best houses, you get the best money, the girls, the cars, the best lifestyle, and then you give us performances like this. Yes. A performance like the Liverpool one. And by the way, sorry, I didn't know the convo didn't end. So, but anyway, good afternoon to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping you're having a nice day. Lovely weather today for anybody that did leave their house. But today we've got 2 legends. Hey, listen, I'm not playing around, guys. I'm only bringing the big names today. The big names. You better watch this show to the end and make sure to sub to Jezza. And obviously follow Ken on Insta and sub to me. Like and subscribe, people. But Kenny, how are you feeling today?
I'm very good. You're right. The weather's been fantastic. In respect of this week, just gone. We've had wind. You believe wind? Early first few days of September. Then we've had rain, and then we've had boiling hot sun all in the same day sometimes. Yes. We've got this great weather. It's an international break, but the biggest bugbear next week: tube strikes. Start tomorrow. Tube strikes right up until Thursday, and the tubes will be back to normal at 8 a.m. That's when we start going to get tubes. So what it's like in London. Tube strikes. Because remember, you guys are talking about your lovely cars backstage, Jaguars. You're a American car. Me, I'm a Londoner. My wife's the one with the cars. She's the one with the. She loves Range Rovers. She absolutely loves one. She made sure she got one. It's ours anyway. But yeah, I'm the oyster man. Got loads of oysters. I own about 6 or 7 oysters. There's one with a certain manager's name on it. If he doesn't deliver the title.
I can guess the manager already. But Jezza, how are you feeling today?
It's been a lovely day. This temperature is me. This is just nice for me. When we went to France for a couple of months, it was just so hot every day. It was just getting my nerves really. I'm back to been out lovely day today. Been out to a car show in the Jag. Great day out with a buddy of mine. He's got a classic Triumph Stag as well. And it's been a beautiful day. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a little picnic and it's great. Loved it.
Nice. But where else to start but the game against Liverpool? That shit show that Arteta gave us. A lot of people actually texted me and they were like, hey, listen, I think Arteta's a coward. I think we were wrong about him. I really did believe some people turned after that game. And that's why I think Josh did that whole meeting, because Think about it. Josh should have done the meeting before the Premier League. Why would you wait until the third game? But we'll get into that afterwards. Today's show, why is it called Support and Criticize the Club? Yesterday we were live with a certain Arteta in, and he was telling us, "Oh, you guys only criticize United. Oh, guys only criticize." We're like, "No, we're the level-headed fans here. Okay, we're the level-headed. We actually want the best, and we actually rate." Because think about it, if you're not rating your manager and you're not pushing him to win titles, then you don't really rate him. What is he doing there? Because I haven't seen, we had the best window apparently. We'll get to that afterwards as well. But no one's saying we're gonna win the league. So I don't know. It doesn't make sense. We have the best defense. We have the best midfielder in the world. We got the best striker. I don't get it. But Kenny, how did you feel about the whole Liverpool game?
Well, Liverpool, my position hasn't changed from the time I saw the team sheet, and I saw Liverpool's team sheet, and I knew how Slot's going to play. I knew how Arteta was going to play, regardless of whether he had these full team out. He was always going to play that way. Probably wouldn't have the same personnel, but it was always a case of contain and, you know, like I said, get the numbers in, frustrate, and then see if they can nick it in the end, which is what he wanted to do. He was never going to go expansive against Liverpool, and Liverpool were never going to go expansive against us because of what we did last season to teams that, you know, gave us space in the midfield, particularly. We just pressed the life out of them and squeezed them and actually mullered them. So Liverpool, just as cautious as we were, we just got to remember that. But the problem is that we kind of didn't anticipate the fact that Liverpool won the title for a reason. They didn't win the title because Salah had got any goals. They won the title because that in-game management was fantastic. Let's not forget, yesterday they conceded 2 goals each against Bournemouth and Newcastle. But hang on here, the substitutions, when he needed to win the game, came off. You know, he made positive substitutions, and that won them the game. No matter how much you want to praise Bournemouth, you want to praise Semenyo, and how much you want to praise Newcastle going out of 10 men, the fact is, Liverpool won that game because their substitutions were spot on. In terms of Arsenal, I still feel that Mikel Arteta was Liverpool's man of the match. There's a lot of fans who believe that, but a day later and a few days later, they're different. Oh, we lost to the champions. You know, you're a bit over the top. It's the 3rd game of the season. How can you say the title's done? Well, I never said the title was done. You know, I just think that all I said is that we should have laid down a marker, and that it would have sent a message to the rest of the league that we mean business. We're not here to mess around. We're the team to beat. And it didn't happen. Liverpool's still the team to beat. And the situation is that, you know, everyone says that we were a better side and we should have done this and that. That's their prerogative to say that. But one thing you can't deny is that in the second half, Liverpool were the better team because they responded to the way we played. They got in amongst us, frustrated us, nullified us, and then they won the game. So Mikel Arteta's got a lot of soul searching to do. I know from a footballing point of view, if Arsenal won that game, he would generally thought, yeah, it's our turn now. We can go and win this. And I think every Arsenal fan would have done that, especially the ones who are firmly behind Mikel. They would have made us the title favourites. They would have laid down a marker, you know. You look, Jez, you remember when you went on social media, you know, especially like TikTok or Instagram, there was a lot of, just YouTube, there's a lot of fans who've made us the favourites. We actually thought we could go at Anfield, dominate and win comfortably because we are a better team than them. There's still Arsenal fans out there who think, man for man, we're better than Liverpool. All week, I was saying, right, combined Liverpool and Arsenal 11s. Well, in most Arsenal fans, they only got about 3 or 4 Liverpool players in, and the rest were Arsenal. So that was the confidence we took into that game. You know what I mean? The fact we kept clean sheets, the fact that, you know, we didn't look like we conceded. Unfortunately, the same old. That it would have been a great kind of, you know, like I said, shot in the arm if you started Eze. Everyone looked at the team, right, we're going to pick Eze today. When we saw on the bench, we went, what? When we saw Marino play, we went, what? And then that's when the red flag, you know, arrived. And then when we didn't break them down the first half, that's when more red flags came on, and I think that's the thing. Missed opportunity.
Absolutely, mate. I totally agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I watched your Insta post that you put out just before an hour or so before the game, when you announced the team lineup, and I was like, really, really, got Marino there, really? We're going to Anfield here, and you know when you were talking about it's such a defensive setup, I thought, nah, this can't be, can it? And I went off and on here on the old computer here, looked up that team. I thought, Jesus Christ, we've got 7 defensive players here, and we're going to Anfield. We got to go and attack them. You can't sit back at that field, man. You know, it's one of the toughest grounds to go to for Arsenal, especially. We never do well, but there was a chance that day with the new players we brought in, right? Gyökeres, Eze, and I was absolutely shocked with the great welcome Eze had when he walked onto the pitch before the Leeds game. You know, I thought, brilliant, this is great. Looking forward to him playing against Liverpool, and he didn't start him. And I'm thinking, what are you doing here? It was quite clear to me, guys, that Arteta went to Anfield purely and simply to look at get a draw. Now, a manager, right, with that squad, surely you've got to have ambition and go there to try and get 3 points. You might not get 3 points, but at least to try and set the team up that you're going to give it a go. All I saw was Arsenal dominated the first half and then Liverpool dominated the second half. Now, the thing is, domination don't win you games if you don't score goals, right? And we had 1 shot on target. We didn't play well. Certain players shouldn't have been on the park, in my opinion. And it's an absolute shit show, really. And I thought when as the second half started out, 10 minutes in or whatever, I thought, nah, this ain't working. You got to change it now, Arteta. You got to change it because it ain't working. But he never does it. He will stick to the same old, same old. And some of his substitutions, Kenny, right, Rashid, were like, why? Why? Why would you bring on, right, Dowman at that not thingy, Bob. What's his name? Yeah, Dowman. Why would you bring him on for that period of time? What's the point? What do you expect him to do? Game's over. It's done. And when he brought on Eze, I thought, what? Why didn't you start him? An impact player. Oh, I don't know, man, with this manager. I honestly sit here and I hate criticising. I'd much rather sit here and be positive and say, yeah, we give it a go. We went to Anfield and we give it a go. We tried our best, but it didn't work on the day. I'd rather be sitting here saying that. I'm fed up of 6 years now of continually crying and moaning. Never used to do this, right? Under previous managers, under Emery, he gave it a go. He'd set it up. All right, you can say the latter years of Wenger, not so good. Not so good. But he still won cups. He still give it a go. This manager is just so boring. And I'm fed up with it. Even George Graham wasn't as bad as this, his style of football. It wasn't great, but we had a fantastic defence that would get us over the line. You know, not with this guy. And before I shut up, the biggest problem is, right, he doesn't look, to me in a game, his in-game management doesn't look like he's actually going to mix it up. He'll plod it along, then he'll make a stupid change again. And I'll think, what are you doing now? And it'll be too late. And I'm fed up with sitting here moaning, and I'll leave it there.
That's exactly why the show is called Support and Criticise. Because the thing is that because Arsenal have been shit for a long time, people haven't really seen us. Obviously, people that have been on YouTube for time haven't seen Arsenal fans be happy about the game and say, oh, what a game Saka had, or what a game, I don't know, Declan Rice had, or something like that. Because we're never in this position. We're always the nearly men. We're always nearly there. And yesterday, I actually told that Arteta guy, I told him, okay, cool. You know, when you play defensive, you always have to find a way to score goals. It's just, it's football, right? Even if you do play defensive, there must be a style of play where, like, what are we going to do it offensively? What are we going to do in attacking wise? And then he had nothing to say, because there's not even a pattern of play. There's no balls through the middle, everything through the sides. And Liverpool kind of, like, Kirk has had a great game. Not a great game. Kirk has kept Madueke as silent as he could, even though Madueke was the best game. For us to say Madueke had the best game is already a concern. It's already a concern. We didn't expect it from Madueke. And the problem is that Madueke was so isolated, is that even if he beats one man, two man, there's nobody there. Nobody in that box. But it is where it is. They're gonna keep saying, "Oh, you're negative, though. You don't support your club." Or how do you support your club? Okay, how do you support a shit show? Yesterday, someone told me, "Oh, you have to believe, Kenny Ken. You have to
but
just believe."
you know what it is, Rashid? What people don't realise, right, is that they say, support and criticise. The fact is that stadium is filled every game.
Facts.
Even the friendlies are filled, even like the League Cup games. And quite a lot of people who are critics of the manager have season tickets, me included. Some of us, if we're lucky, we go to some away games. Now, regardless of the fact I don't want the manager, I don't think he's the right man for the job, and I'm not in the club of one. The fact that we're attending these games shows we are back in the club. And for that 90 minutes, not once am I hoping that our manager fails. In fact, I'm backing him. I'm backing his decisions, up until a point. I'm praising if they go, if he's made the right decision, particularly what I agree with, I'm praising him. I'll defend him on the hill for that 90 minutes. But I still gonna critique that performance because that's what I'm entitled to do. For me not to be backing the managers, not turning up week in, week out to watch Arsenal play, or not watching Arsenal anymore, because I'm only going to watch Arsenal if we get a new manager. I'm not going to watch it on TV because of the new manager. I'm not going to go on any Arsenal podcast until we get a new manager. That's throwing a tantrum. That's not backing the club. Because the end of the day, you can still back the club, you can still back, the players. But the fact is that we've seen week in, week out that despite the fact we're a top team in the league, we still haven't got anything to show for it. I think the problem with our fans at the moment, especially the ones who say they get so annoyed when they hear Arteta get criticised, and some of them are newbies, they think that our level is fourth. They're so traumatised by what happened at Old Trafford in August 2011 when we got beaten 8-2. They're so traumatised by what happened in March 2014 when Chelsea beat us 6-0. In that same season, Liverpool beat us 5-1 at Anfield. It's like that was our level then, and they think that anything better than that is fine. The fact that we're no longer seen as a Champions League team, we're a team that can compete with the top. That's enough for these fans, and that because Arteta has done such a great job, in their opinion, of getting us to that level, he deserves as much time as he wants in order to get over the line. And what he doesn't get is that it doesn't work like that in football, and they can't keep on looking down the nose at saying Man United's a washed club, former great club. How dare they, by the way, or laugh at Spurs and say, look at a small club, when they're basically asking us to be satisfied with things that you should be associated with Arsenal. Arsenal should be challenged for the title every season. Arsenal should be spending billions of pounds on top players. Our players should be internationals. We should be finishing second on a regular basis. That's a staple diet. That's just you know what I mean. That's just, if you want me to be crude, you expect that. So for Arteta to be praised for that is not on. If that was Man City's results right now, Sheikh Mansour's won't be having it. We saw at Chelsea when they weren't winning titles and they had similar results to us that the manager still got sacked. and they were winning trophies. They weren't winning the league, but they're winning cups upon cups. You know, getting it ticking over. Probably the odd European trophy, but manager got sacked because that's expected. You know, Abramovich didn't spend billions of pounds just to do what we're doing now. The sheikhs at Man City didn't spend billions and billions of pounds to do what we're doing now. And I don't think that if the Cronkies are happy with this, then it's a problem. I'm not happy with it. We should be challenged for it every season, regardless of whether we got resource or not. That shouldn't be the aim. That should be the starting point, and then you go and win trophies. And that's the problem with a lot of our fans. They're still traumatized by the last embers of the last ashes of the Wenger years. You know, the thrashings, to our rivals. When we used to play Chelsea away, do you remember that time when we used to have all the possession? They just treat us like boys, beat us up, and then win the game, and then at their ground, or they used to come over at the Emirates, beat us up. There's one game, the 2009-2010 season, we had all the possession, but they won 3-0. They're still traumatized by that. And that's why they think that we've never had it that good.
When do you guys think that enough is enough? When do you think that these people would turn around and say, hey, listen, Arteta, maybe you're not the guy? Do you think it's going to be this season? Let's play it out. Let's play it out as if we get a semi-final in the Champions League, second place, and probably not win any cup. Do you think that would be enough for these fans? Would that be enough? Would they back this, Jez?
Probably.
Would they back that?
Probably. Let's look at it, right? Yeah. Second and Champions League final. That to a lot of these fans is a trophy. Right? I was watching that show you was on last night with Shane, yeah. And the delusion I was listening to, I was like, where are you coming from here, man? You're obviously supporting the wrong game, because winning the league is that's the object. Winning a cup is the object. Yeah, and that's what the game's about. Coming second means nothing. And I don't get this. Kenny, you nailed it, man, before. And I do not understand where these fans have come from, because I don't remember that being acceptable 10, 12 years ago. People got the ump. And we were walking, we were showing their discontent by walking out or not turning up or having a scrap at the Emirates, arguing. Nowadays, it's all a get along gang. Oh, well, yeah. It's always like deflection, right? Oh, well, next year. Yeah, the year after, right? And I've heard people say now, right? Great window. He needs a year. He needs a year to settle the players in. Fuck off, man. Right? You've had your time, fella. You've had your time. Now, the only time I can see these really, really Arteta fans churning is if we're sitting, let's just hypothetically say at Christmas, we're in 6th, right? We're not doing great in the league. Things are going a bit shit, right? We get into into January, we've got the 3rd round FA Cup. We go out of that 3rd round. I will go bloody mental if he does that again. And if things haven't gone well in the Champions League, that starts 2 weeks time? 2 weeks time,
2 weeks.
something like that. If that doesn't start going well, then I think people will start to say, no. This is enough. Now, another case in point here. I honestly think, Kenny, that the Cronkies, Josh, right, has had this meeting with Arteta and Berta, and he has apparently said he expects trophies. So the pressure is now on. Arteta, you're under pressure now, fella. You've got to deliver or you're gone. And I sit here reasonably confident that if he doesn't deliver, he will be gone. And Josh will turn around and say, "You've had your chance. You've had all this money, right? And now you still haven't delivered anything. Out the door you go." I'm sorry to have to say this, right? The FA Cup, the cup I love with like as Kenny does. Yeah, grew up with it as kids. We love it. Beat the FA Cup finals, quite a few of them between us, Kenny. And that is not enough anymore. Sorry to have to say that. Sorry to be disappointed, but that is not enough anymore. The League Cup, we've only won it. What? How many times won the twice?
The League Cup.
Well, twice. Been a few finals, but we've done it twice.
87, 93, is it? Something like that. It's not enough. That is not enough now. It's got to be the big prize. It's got to be Premier League or Champions League. Personally, Kenny, you said it the other day. It is apparent we're better set up for the Champions League than we are the Premier League. Now that is a problem in itself because I don't believe, right, that this manager has the nous to win the Champions League. I don't think he's got it.
Nah, totally agree.
Yeah, last year he did well. I won't knock it. I mean, I'll support where I think it should where praise should be given. I'll give it.
See,
right? I'm not that narcissistic that I'll say,
we support and criticize. It's a balance. It's basically a balance. Big up to Shane Guna, of course, in the chat, and we've got a super chat here for you, Jez. Well, this one I like a lot because this guy he's talking about right now, he's talking about Max Dowman, and I really do believe that I don't care if he's 15. I'm just going to come out and say, I don't care if he's 15, 16 or 12, okay? If he's a good player, he's a good player. You put him in that squad. Yes, you don't run him into the ground. Obviously, you need to know how to manage him, just like Hansi Flick did with Lamine Yamal. So you need to know how to manage him, but this player is something special. Watching Madueke versus Andorra is concerning me. That's a surprise. Max Dowman needs to start over him with Saka out. I truly believe, I'm just going to come out and say, I truly believe that Max Dowman and Saka can really compete for that right wing. But I really want, in reality, in really what I want Max Dowman in that number 10, that kind of like free roam. I know not a lot of people agree because of Eze coming to the club, blah, blah, blah. But I think he's that kind of player. We can turn him into our own Lamine Yamal. But Kenny, what's your thoughts on this one? I mean, I think I know what you think about Madueke, but the real question here is Max Dowman.
Well, the thing is that it's pretty crowded in that kind of number 10 right wing role because you got a lad who we persuaded to sign a 5-year contract in Wanyeri. We persuaded him that he's part of the manager's plans, but on the same hand, we're saying a 15-year-old's better than him because the positions that that Max Dowman is going to occupy were occupied by Wanyeri, and you've got Madueke. Spent a big amount of money of him. I think when Saka's fit, he would like him to start on the left hand side because the Martinelli thing's just not happening, mate. It's not happening, and he's going to probably try and see if he can trick the opposition by abandoning.
Do you think Saka would work on the left hand side? Sorry to cut him, but do you think Saka would work on the left hand side? Because I think
he could. But the thing is that he's playing his position. And where he's playing his best football is the right hand side, and because he's earned the right to keep that shirt for now, but because the only reason is that he's one of the top right forwards in Europe. Don't know about the world, but in Europe, 100%, he's close to being world class. If he gets a few more goals and he gets the numbers he should be getting, I don't think we'd be talking about Max Dowman. We'll be excited about Max Dowman. What we're doing, Saka, for a player of his ability, should be scoring, the sort of goals that Frank Lampard was scoring for the midfield for Chelsea. Saka can easily do that, if not better than that. He should be doing that, especially a team like ours where we're always on the front foot. in terms of like, Eze's situation, the good thing about having Max Dowman, having Saka, having Madueke, having Eze as well, is that the manager's he's got options now. He has got a selection headache, but a good selection headache. But for him, the problem with selection headaches, anything that encourages this man, that tries to persuade the manager from changing the way we play, is a problem for him. Because we've seen how he plays. He's so embedded in the system. He's so embedded in the personnel, where you look at the Max Dowman, for the time being, it is going to be impact off the bench. He will trust Madueke more than Max Dowman. Saka is his boy.
But what's your opinion, though, Kenny? Would you play Max Dowman
Personally,
over
not.
Madueke?
I don't know. There's going to be two different players, isn't there? There's going to be a Max Dowman that starts games. Max Dowman that starts games is going to be a lot different from the Max Dowman that comes in as an impact substitution when the game's already won, and when opponents are just thinking, you know what, if we can get through this in the last 15 minutes and get this point or hold on to this win, we'll be fine. So they're not thinking. So we say we've got to concentrate. So they're already under pressure. And you've got this fresh lad who's pushing them back. Now, at the start of the game, you've got this lad starting games where all these guys are in position. They've got their two banks of four. That's the next challenge, isn't it? To see if Max Dowman can break a fresh defence, can worry a different defence. Because you're talking about Max Dowman from an attacking point of view. But the Max Dowman that's got to play in Mikel's teams has to sacrifice his panache and his front foot of play to help the team to be behind the ball, and that's a difference. If we start Max Dowman in games and he follows Mikel's rules, which he has to, it'll be night and day from the Max Dowman that comes to the bench that excites you all to what Mikel's going to require from him. And then it'll be a situation where he may not be able to do that. Don't get me wrong. If he's good enough, like a lot of people think he is, he'll overcome that because Yamal can. So we're asking, the question is he at 15 on that kind of level of a Wayne Rooney 20 years ago and Michael Owen nearly 27 years ago, and he's on the level with Yamal? I don't know. I'm on the fence because I know what how Mikel expects his players to play from start to finish. And in terms of discipline, he definitely puts more onus on team shape than individuality. And that's my big concern. At 15, at 16, look at Joe Cole. When I see Max Dowman, Joey Cole, when I was growing up, he's probably 10 years younger than me. But when we were in Islington, and obviously I was going to Arsenal, I was playing, like I said, football at Market Road. If you live in Islington and around Cadone Road, there's a place called Market Road. The talk was Joey Cole, local boy, look at goal. Look, he's got these skills. He's better than Gaza. He's going to be Gaza. Get him at Chelsea. Mourinho got hold of him. Did you see Joey Cole play like Gaza? I didn't.
Sorry, Max. Jezza. Now I know your thoughts on Madueke again. I know your thoughts on Madueke, but the Max Dowman situation, what would you do? Would you start him? Would you put him on the bench? Do you think he's ready or not?
That's a very interesting question. By the way, Kenny, England are playing shit. 2-0 up against Andorra. Come on. Anyway, to answer your question, mate, would I start him every game? No. I don't think he's got the physicality to do that, and that I think could burn him, could cause him an issue. I think I prefer him from what I've seen over Madueke. I mean, he's crap in this game and all. But at the end of the day, we have got one for the future there, and we need to nurture him. Yeah, I'll have him on the bench. No questions about that. Maybe bringing on in the last 20 of a game if needed. But I wouldn't overplay him. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I think that could give him more problems than is good. But we also have to look at the likes of Enweri, because what Arteta is doing here is to me is showing totally disrespect. Last season he was a starter coming off the bench as well. Now he seems to have fallen off a cliff with Arteta, but that's Arteta's way. This is what he does. He's one of the worst man managers I've ever seen in football. He shows disrespect. He builds somebody up and then shoots them down. And I don't like that attitude. That's not good for a young player. Personally, if I was Enweri, if he doesn't get more game time by Christmas, I'll be saying to his manager, agent, I want out. Get me out of this club. Let me go to a club where I will actually get game time. Because I don't believe in Arteta's in-game management. I don't believe in his man management off the field as well as on it. So this is a problem. And I said this last night to Aaron, right? I reckon a lot of these players are fed up with the same voice.
Yeah.
They've had enough of it now. They've had enough. They're bored with him, and it's time to change it up. You know, any manager, right, that brings in a bag of lemons into the changing room and goes on about squeezing lemons. I mean, what is that about? What is that about?
The light bulb. We need your energy, your energy.
I mean, that to me is absolute utter bullshit. And if you've got a manager doing that, well, it says to me there's something wrong. I don't imagine Pep Guardiola did that.
No.
I'm not sure he was doing that. And I reckon a lot of these managers, sit there and laugh at Arteta when they see that sort of comment. Mm-hmm. He's a clown.
I know a certain manager that lost at Arteta, Luis Enrique. When they asked him, they were like, "Oh, Arteta."
Yes. But at the end of the day, and this is the thing, right? I am fed up with when you criticise Arteta for the good reasons to criticise him as well. People say, "Who would you want as manager?" Well, at the end of the day, there's loads of them out there.
Yeah,
there's loads of them out there. And if you pay the money like we've been paying Arteta, £15 million a year, right? They'll snap your bloody arm off. Enrique ain't getting that. Pep Guardiola, I think, is getting more. But there's managers out there you say, yeah, thanks very much. I'm having some of that. Great club, decent squad, maybe not quite as it should be, but thanks for it. I'll take 11 million a year starting fat salary. Thank you very much. I'm coming to Arsenal. And Kenny, right? This is my conspiracy theory. Okay, I wouldn't be at all surprised right now if Berta's not already talking behind the scenes.
You know what? That's a good question. There's one thing that's no doubt: the pressure's on Mikel Arteta now more than ever. I think the fact that we spent so much money, it brings in more pressure than it does, isn't it? The fact you think about the money he's spent. He's got Gyökeres. Obviously, he's not Sesko, but he's got the strike he wants. He's got Eze. Whether he's been giving them or not, we don't know. He's taken Madueke on. He's got a big squad of players. He can't use injuries as to say, oh yeah, this guy got injured, that's why we didn't succeed. Because whether he likes it or not, yes, players will get injured, but we've got enough cover to replace these players. Maybe not as good. Madueke probably is not as good as Saka. We know it's not. Max Dowman, too inexperienced at the moment. He's not as Saka's level because of duty experience. But there's an option there. There is a genuine option there. Defensive-wise, he's got more than enough cover. You know what I mean? Yes, he's lost Havertz. That if Gyökeres gets injured, yeah, not having Havertz is a big loss. Or if he wants to use an alternative, but yeah, the fact is he's under pressure. He's got the questions will have to be asked. Berta does not work for Arteta. He works alongside Arteta, but Berta's, got contacts with top managers.
Mm.
Worked with a top manager who was unlucky not to win the Champions League with Atletico Madrid. So you're right. You can't rule it out. You can't rule it out.
Mm.
And as much as we say, oh, yeah, you can't walk away from £70 million a year or whatever he gets paid. I've known managers like Arteta to walk away and think, you know what, I can't do it no more. I haven't got the energy and blah, blah. He could walk, just as much walk as he can be removed from his job, especially if we finish second again with behind Viv, and we get 75 points and Liverpool get 90.
Yeah.
In point gap, that's not compete for the title. Or we finish like third, go out to the Champions League quarterfinals. Don't do well in the cups, and he thinks, you know what, I've taken this club as far as we can go, because there has to be a point where he has to think that he's taken as far as he can go with all the resources he's had, the teams he's built. Some managers do that. Some managers do that.
I don't think Arteta's that kind of guy, Kenny. Though
we don't know that.
Someone...
We don't know that. We don't know that. It's always a shock when managers quit well in advance. I didn't see Klopp leave. I knew Klopp. Klopp may have been capable of doing it, but no one saw Klopp. Klopp's announcement coming. I didn't see it coming. I just saw a guy that business as usual, working his nuts off, and then he makes an announcement and said, look, I can't do this no more. Mick Arteta is more than capable of doing that. More than capable.
Do you not think, he's a bit too arrogant for that?
Yeah, that's what I was
arrogant. Yeah, he's arrogant because he wasn't under pressure, but he's under pressure now.
Yes.
Pressure, expectation, and people doubting you dilutes your arrogance. Doesn't matter how much people support you. When you've got people actively in the media saying, well, this is Arsenal's last hurrah, they're actually questioning his job, whether he did a good job. He got a lot of criticism for what happened at Anfield. Yeah. Theo Walcott wasn't backing him. If you watch Theo Walcott on NBC TV, he didn't like the team lineup. He thought Arsenal were negative. He thought Arsenal came for a draw. This is Theo Walcott.
Yeah.
So, and that's an Arsenal man, even though he's a Liverpool fan. And then you've got Roy Keane, who was critical. They're not backing him no more blindly. They're not doing it no more. They want Arsenal to deliver. So that's pressure in itself. So his arrogance diluted a bit. Doesn't matter how much his acolytes or like the Arsenal fans who are paid to agree with anything and not criticise anything say. He's under pressure because the football people know that he has to win things.
100%, man. But Annan put another super chat saying the league title is the bread and butter for 5 teams in the country. Arsenal rapidly falling out of the 5. Change is needed, and it is needed fast. What would you say to this, Jez?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, that's a great super chat, mate. Totally agree with that. And
100%.
I've said several times now, after before the Liverpool game, by the way, the Man United game it was, in fact, where we scraped the 1-0. Both teams were bloody awful on that day, bloody awful. But okay, you could say they're negating each other. But let's be right. Yeah, supposedly we've got a better squad than Man United. Supposedly. But we just dragged it out, longed that game out. And it was another set piece that scored us a goal. Fair enough. Okay. I'll take it on the chin. But the thing is, if by Christmas, and I'm just going to say this, right? If by Christmas we're sitting in like 6th, 5th, 6th, then that to me is time for him to go, because he's showing no ambition. And at the end of the day, look, let's be honest. We know we're going to get the stories, people to talk about, oh, well, we can buy in the window in January. I don't believe we'll buy anybody in the January window. The money's gone. The budget has been spent. There was that chat, wasn't there, from Josh saying there's going to be a war chest. Well, I think that was a war chest this summer.
Yeah, it was.
But we're still stuck with some players that shouldn't be here. Why is Jesus still here? What's he doing? He ain't appeared anywhere. So what are we going to do with him then? Just cancel his contract like we like to do? Get no money for him? This is a concern. I don't think this is going to happen too much now with Berta here. I think Berta's a bit more shrewd in the fact that he will try and get players out and get money. Maybe not big money. But the problem is with Arteta, as Kenny just said, fantastic. I hadn't thought about it like what Kenny said. He is a very arrogant man, but the pressure.
He's under pressure now.
It's on him from the owners, it's on him from the fans to a point, and it's on it from the pundits. So it's a tricky time now, Mr. Arteta. You've got to deliver, and you've got to deliver big, because you've got a game coming up at home against Forest. No, that's no walk in the park. You know,
I think they signed Mourinho, Jez. Sorry to cut him. I think they signed Mourinho. Not it's not official yet, but Mourinho is very close to Nottingham, and it's going to be a big problem. I want Mourinho to come back just for the show and, for the bants. He's so funny. He's such a character. But we need.
That must be a loan move, isn't it? It's got to be a loan because the window's shut now, isn't it?
Oh no, the manager Mourinho.
Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. I thought you were talking about our play. I thought, oh God, thank God.
Oh.
But no, I don't. I hadn't heard that one. No, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, no, it hasn't happened yet, but there's speculations that Mourinho is going to sign for Nottingham Forest, and I'm hoping it does, because just for the band, just for the character, you know how he is. He always animates the Premier League, always. But I've
not heard this at all. Mourinho going to Forest.
Yeah, because Nuno's got sacked. They sacked Nuno.
Oh no, no.
Yeah, I think they sacked Nuno, or there's a problem between him and the owner. There's just something going on in Nottingham Forest, and Mourinho could be the next manager. And Nuno came out and said, he told the world that me and that guy, I can't pronounce his name, but have a big problem, and they don't see eye to eye. But we will see. Big up Jalil.
Marcus as well.
Huh?
Doesn't that guy? I might be getting confused. Is somebody
the Greek guy, the owner
Marinakis? Marinakis.
Yeah. Doesn't he own Olympiacos as well?
Yeah, he does. He does actually. Yeah, he does. Big up to BLK. Big up to the chat. I'm sorry, there was a full flow and we couldn't get to the chat. But Lenny, big up Lenny, man. Big up Lenny. Big up NF. NF saying that's a typical Irish day. 4 seasons in a day. Yeah, that's the UK, innit? Arteta was a coward. It's as simple as that. Facts. Akers is saying Godfather Jez, Kenny Ken, big up to both of you. David C saying feels like a hangover. Big up Monty, man. Thanks for the sub. Big up to you, man. England playing some bricklayers. LOL. Guna ER saying the league was over when we started with Arteta as a manager. I hear that. Ashley saying that a bit of fear is important to succeed in sport. Mayweather, who he was because he anticipated the danger before he got hit. That's true. He's a defensive boxer. My biggest criticism of Arteta, he has to get hit to make change. Yeah, but the thing is about Mayweather, he has a plan as well. He's not just defending. This guy's just defending. Kenny, you love boxing. Do you want to take on this one?
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing. I think Mikel Arteta, the problems with Mikel Arteta started in 22-23 season when we were pretty comfortable. I think the first sort of like Armageddon situation when we lost at home to Man City, gave them a game, went toe to toe with them, and they were better than us. They was cuter, and they won because they were cuter, and they punished us for every mistake, and they were still, at that level above us. And then he didn't learn from the games we won. I always say that when you win a game, you can win well and win badly. Like, look at Liverpool. Everyone is criticising them for the fact they beat Bournemouth 4-2. They beat Newcastle 3-2. They're criticised because they scored 2 goals. They conceded 4 goals in 2 games. They're slagging off Kanate. Liverpool recognised this, played Arsenal, and that's the change. Arsenal won badly against Bournemouth. Reece Nelson, great goal, won badly against Aston Villa, and they never heeded the dangers. They carried on as normal, started conceding goals, and then it was too late, started getting beaten, and Mikel Arteta saw that because the game management was terrible. Season afterwards, he changed the way he played, got Declan Rice in, and then he started beating teams up. Last season, he started playing cautiously. So, yeah, you're right. He hasn't got over that, how we lost the league. He kicks himself because he thought we were too open, and we're never going to be like that again. We're never going to play the football, the 22-23 season, because he feels what we did to teams last season who played open against us, that will happen to us. He knows that. That's why he's always been cautious. So, Ashley's spot on, absolutely spot on about how Mikel is approaching things, and that's why. Despite the fact we got Eze, despite the fact we got Odegaard, despite the fact we got Max Dowman, got Madueke, got Gyökeres, he's still got in his head that if I play the football the fans want and the media asks us to play, we'll get done. We'll get beaten. The low block types will just nick one and we'll be difficult to beat. The teams who are good enough to beat us will have players who can punish us. So we have to be compact. We have to be difficult to beat. It's not going to change until we get a manager who hasn't got the scars of 22, 23.
We need a manager with a CV, just like we liked Berta and what Berta's doing. He has a CV. That's why everybody likes Berta. But Ashley saying he cares more about proving a point and winning. Everyone knows our best team. He's not helping Gyökeres at all. Facts. Guna ER is saying the minute Havertz comes back, Gyökeres is dropped. Jezza, do you think it's true? What do you think it is?
Yeah. Look, mate, Havertz, for some God knows reason, has to play. Right? We know that. I don't know if it's in his contract that he's got to have a certain amount of games or a certain amount of game time. I have no idea. But I think Guna ER, I think you're bang on there, mate. I think as soon as he's up and running, he'll be in that team. And you'll see Gyökeres or he'll be on the bench.
Oh, shit.
Probably out Havertz at some stage in the game. But Arteta will shoehorn Havertz into that team. It's given. Don't know why, but that's the way it is. Sadly, to the detriment of a far better player, in my opinion. Gyökeres, I think he's far better. Havertz is washed, and not for me, buddy. But Kenny, I have to say, England are shit, mate. Only can beat and 2-0. Come on.
You had it on in the background. I think we all had it on the background. One thing we saw, man. If there was a team that played low block, i.e., defending their goal line, Andorra did it. You know what I mean? I don't think anyone could break him down, especially our players. We're not used to sort of some. You know what it is? Some teams in Europe are so used to playing against teams like that they can actually open them up and still play well. England, we just it's not in our psyche. We're just not used to playing international type football in order to break down low blocks. It's not in us.
No.
What we want to do is just.
Isn't that a midfield problem though, Kenny?
Could be. You know, the midfield, but
Declan Rice, right?
no, you know it is. We did try. Madueke did try to get behind, but he just couldn't. And Rashford did try to get behind. He did do a few flicks and try to do the overlap, but it was hard even to overload them. You must be watching Mikel play and Dora.
Yeah.
It probably was. They probably big up Yessa in the chat. Big up Yessa, man. Rich99 is saying big up Rashid, Jez, Kenny. Smash the likes up. All I say now to obsessed Arteta fans: no Wembley, no finals, no trophies at the moment. They have zero argument. No, they do. They do have arguments. Trust me. But Screenplay is saying, "Oh, you mean in the title, the club, as in Arsenal? I thought you meant the club channel, as in Slad." Okay. Screenplay. That's what I meant. I meant Arsenal. I should write Arsenal next time. But actually saying, how are you starting Martinelli when they have a number 10 at right back, a team that struggled against 10 men the week before? Weird. Zay saying, I'm tired of being of the banter club. I'm sick and tired of our deluded fans. Trust me, that's why we're here. Big up Joa, big up Gavin, big up AFC, big up Grima. I'm just gonna call you Grima. Sorry. Our fortunes won't change whilst Arteta's in charge. His peak years were 2023. Like that one from. Yes. 100%, man. That 2022, 2023. He said it perfectly. Kenny said it perfectly. It's never gonna happen again. And big up to Waffle Don, by the way, for the raid. Big up Waffle Don for the raid. AFC saying nearly 1,900 days since our last trophy. No way. 1,900. Oh, I have to do a stream on that day, 1,900. That's mad. Abramovich is the best owner I have ever seen. Ruthless, sacked about 15 managers, but won about 20 trophies. Hey, listen, all I saw since starting watching football, the clubs that sack managers are the ones that are usually winning trophies.
100%.
Real Madrid, Chelsea. Go on, Kenny.
Man City sacked managers. Remember, the Man City sacked Mancini. They sacked Pellegrini as well, and before that, they sacked Mark Hughes when they first bought the club. But you're right. You know, Pep is proved unsackable. But if he carries on, if Man City is still, fallible, next season, I think this is Pep's last season anyway. But another reason why Arteta's under pressure, and I've overlooked it, but I don't think you two have overlooked it. Man City are fallible now. They were fallible last season, and we didn't sort of like put them to the sword. We didn't capitalize on their fallibility. First 3 games, they showed they're still fallible in certain areas of the pitch. So that's pressure in itself, because the media, i.e. your Jamie Carragher's and your Gary Neville's, said in words to effect, Pep's just too good. You can't beat Pep. You can't take titles off Pep. And then forgetting that Klopp did it in 2020. Pep this, Pep that. The last season, Pep was fallible, but it was Slot who took titles off him. And now they're fallible. It was a free way for the title. Now we're saying it's a 2-horse race because they're fallible. But we're not the favourites. We're still showing that we can't take it by the grab it by the nuts.
Put them on the table. Pause.
Well, that's what
Arteta needs to do.
I think Kenny's right. To me, Guardiola looks like his time has come, and this is what I've been saying, and people don't really listen. All managers will come and go. That's football, man. That's football. The one thing that never goes is the club, right? Whatever happens, the club will always be there. This is what I don't understand with people that are just adamant that Arteta is the best thing since sliced bread. He will go at some point, whether he's sacked or whether he walks out the door. Now, wouldn't it be funny, right? Hypothetically here, Rashid, right? Pep Guardiola, end of this season, says, right, I'm moving on. I've had I need a change now.
All right, guys, I'm just going to someone's at the door, and I'm going to come back. So,
All right, mate. Yeah,
keep
okay.
the thing.
and then so Pep Guardiola goes out the door end of this season, right? In May, doesn't have a great season, walks out. Wouldn't it be funny if we saw Arteta going the other way? Now that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Now that would be very interesting, because do you think, right, the owners of Man City would take Arteta? I'm not convinced.
No. I don't
But
think so.
it could be an interesting situation that basically he says, right, I'm out of here now, move on.
I hope so.
I just don't know.
I hope so, Jez. I mean, that's a weird situation we'd be in if he went to City. But then what would happen is that if he does something, that they'll be like, oh, see, we should have believed. You should have believed. I'm sorry, we can't believe. It's been 6 years. Do you know what I'm saying? Time clock is ticking. Do you know what I'm saying? We can't do that. But it would be an interesting situation. Big up to David as well for the chat. He's saying he's writing off FA Cup and the Carabao Cup because of injuries. I don't think he wrote it off last season. I think he went strong against Man United. You remember against Man United, he went strong. I don't think he wrote it off. I think he lost. He lost fair and square against Man United last season. 10 man, by the way, 10 man Man United, 15th place Man United. But anyway, we're the negative ones. Dazza, evening, gents. Hope you will have a nice day. Thank you, Dazza. My guy, Dazza, a real one. Paris Mandem, evening to you as well. Leverkusen sacked Ten Hag after 2 games. I know, I saw that one, David. I was laughing. Ten Hag is shit. He's rubbish. Man. 2 games. Jez, they gave him 2 games. They sacked him after 2 games by Leverkusen. They didn't care. They didn't wait for the process. Why didn't they? He doesn't have all his players. Why don't you wait?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Look, I'm not one person who's going to sit here and profess I know all about European football. I don't watch it, apart unless it's Arsenal. Maybe you should say that. People say, well, that's wrong, Jez, because you should watch it all. No, I ain't got time, mate. I've actually got other shit to do. But yeah, I mean, that's the club saying, oh, okay, Christ, this ain't working. Out you go.
That.
Unfortunately, we all know, Kenny would agree with this, I'm sure. It's the Arsenal way, mate. We've hung on to managers way too long in the past when they should have gone out the door. Case in point, Bertie Mee did great, and then it all went to rat shit. Personally, to me, Bertie Mee should have got sacked after the 1972 FA Cup final. He started to let players go, or Arsenal started to let players go. We didn't replace them, and we went downhill. The Terry Neal saga, well, that was an interesting one. I was on the protest, Islington Town Hall, to get him out of the club. I was young then, crikey. And we did it with Wenger. I loved Wenger. I thought he was a great manager, brilliant manager.
When did you think Wenger should have left?
Wenger should have left, in my opinion, about 2009.
Yeah.
Snap. You know, I say snap. And I say snap is because the game in itself, I think the minute Ronaldo's free kick went in, it was a few days. It was sandwiched in between the semi-final of the FA Cup when he played Chelsea. He took off Van Persie and Adebayor, and then Julius Dropper went down the field and made it 2-1. That's what I thought. No more, because I thought that under Arsene Wenger we're incapable of winning the big games anymore, and that we will never win a title with him anymore, and that he was tactically being sort of outwitted by even the smaller managers. And don't even talk about our record in Europe. There was no that, and that's when he should have gone. But the problem is that it was like drips and drabs. If you said in 2009 that Arsene Wenger should have gone, you would have been shouted down and bullied or kicked off forums. But when after the Man United game, we lost 8-2. That's when fans started to come to play. Up until 2014, it was quiet. After 2014, we all thought he was leaving, and then when we did realize it wasn't leaving, there was more people following all three of our leagues, and then it got toxic. It didn't matter that we won the FA Cup in 2015 and 2017. By that time, everyone wanted him gone. Even his fans were thinking, "Yeah, I think it's about time." Because if you think about between like 2014 up until 2018, those are the times when it became really toxic. 2016, 2017 season was very bad at the Arsenal. Toxic, Paredes.
That's when I left, Kelly.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's when I left.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, he had credit in the bank, right? That's the difference between a Wenger and obviously the credit in the bank. It runs out at some point.
You know, the question is,
yeah.
I think to balance things out, and we've got to be honest with ourselves, because we haven't won anything about under Arteta. I think that Arsenal fans tend to forget how bad things got under Wenger towards the end, and it's not. We're just talking about results. It's how they felt about the club and about the manager, because a lot of people fell out of love with football under Arsene Wenger. Now, because some people stopped going under Arsene Wenger because we knew that he shouldn't be there, and it was just so bad, and that he was. We basically thought he was a stumbling block to our success. And let's not forget, when Arsene Wenger left the club, he just left the scraps, mate. He didn't leave a top team. He didn't leave any foundations. He left scraps. I mean, he left a defence that included Koscielny and Mustafi. You know, just factor that in and inject that into your veins. He left a defence of Mustafi and Koscielny. Players like that on big wages. He left us Hector Bellerin at right back.
Yeah.
So when we glorify Wenger as opposed to Arteta, we seem to forget how bad things were towards the end under that man. And I don't call him. I call him that man.
Why? Why? I need to ask.
He's true. And I think
he left the club in the shit. Arsene Wenger really left his club in the shit. He left the team in the shit. He left a club that had an inferiority complex as opposed to their top four rivals. He left a club where we were vying for Spurs.
Yes.
As top dogs in North London, and Spurs were top dogs in North London. Inject that into your veins. What that man did to that club, our club.
I think Kenny, you've just answered the impossible solution, right? This is why a lot of fans love Arteta, because the argument is always the same. Oh, but he's made the club great again. Yes, to a point, he improved the club. Yes, I will give you that one. But in his ownership, in his stewardship, right, he ain't won nothing. He won an FA Cup, right? Fair enough. I love the FA Cup. We all know that. But he ain't done nothing else since. It's all very well coming in and sorting out the dog shit that was left behind by Wenger. And it was terrible. It was awful. The man had been here too long. But I will put up with that for... I mean, I didn't want Arteta from day one. But the fact is, he did sort out the dross and sort out the crap and everything like that. But at the end of the day, right, he ain't done nothing else. He ain't moved forward.
But we gave him a CV as well, Jez, when you think about it. No?
Who?
We gave him a CV. We gave Arteta a CV. Because now he's got Arsenal on his name. He's got he managed Arsenal.
Yeah, but when he goes, mate, sorry to interrupt you, right? When he goes, after this legacy of failure, right? Continued failure, Who the hell, big club? I'm talking big club here now. One of the big European clubs. Who the hell's going to come in for him? I can't see anyone like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, PSG, any of those sort of clubs, or Atletico Madrid.
You need a CV. You need to be a major winning.
The trophies on it, mate.
Yeah, but you know, like it's football. You know, like football's become like politics. It's about spin. Football, and it's probably become like show business. It's how you spin it. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, Arteta, as long as you've got people in the media, as long as you've got people like Martin Keown saying that Arteta's turned the club around, and that is substantiated by people in the media, then he will get jobs. He didn't win at Arsenal because he wasn't given this. It wasn't because he wasn't quite good enough. It's because he wasn't given this.
But don't you think the 1 billion would come to an account, Kenny, where people would say he got the 1 billion?
When it comes to football management, if your face fits, you're never going to go hungry. You're never going to be unemployed. He will get jobs on the basis that there's always going to be for every person like me, you and Jess saying, well, it's not good enough, there will be 10 times that saying it was a great job he done. And then when you've got people saying, when you've got 10 to 1 saying that he's done a great job, then he will get work. He will get those jobs, abroad. You know what I mean?
But not with a big club.
And that's the thing. Look at Nagelsmann, young manager as he is, but he'll get good jobs. He'll get good jobs. He's not a Tuchel. You'd be surprised how many people get jobs in the
club like Arsenal, though, would it?
Oh no, not at all, not at all. But I think with Mikel Arteta, depends how it's spun though, how you spin it. That's the thing. We should never underestimate the amount of goodwill he's got on his side. Let's not forget, he's got managers like Pochettino who played with him will speak up for him. Mourinho speaks up for all the Spanish and Portuguese. Guardiola, who everyone listens to, will big him up and recommend him. So, and if I was Mikel Arteta, we know it's not good enough. But if I was Mikel Arteta and I had all that backing, I would say, look what I did at Arsenal. Look where they were under Arsene Wenger.
When I took them.
And look at them. I turned Saka into one of the best players in Europe. Look what I did with Saliba. Look what I did with this and this with that. Look how much money I brought into the club because people in football are obsessed with money. And look at the Premiership, the most difficult league to win in the world, with Pep and his big money. That's like winning a trophy. That's how you will sell it. Because if I was an agent, that's exactly what I'd do.
Cool. Cool.
He'll probably get jobs. But big up to Danny. Danny just he just dropped super chat for you, Jez. Big up to you, Danny.
Look how he's got 6 stars. Look how he's got the 6 stars, rubbing it in that they won the Champions League 6 times.
Screenplay is saying Saka's another Jack Wilshere, a talent that could have been. Do you guys agree with this? Do you guys agree with this Saka one? Because he is regressing. Let's be honest, he is regressing, but could be the injury, could be the style of play. I don't know what it is, but it's not the same Saka. And let's be honest, it's about time Saka starts scoring 15 goals. Do you know what I'm saying? Or 15 assists, or putting big numbers.
I think look, I've been saying this since about March this year. I think a lot of these players are bored with his tactics. They're bored with his style of play. They're bored hearing him every day of the week when they're training. They're on the up at London Colney training, bored listening to him in the changing room. Sometimes it does need a new voice to enhance the way the team play. I mean, let's be fair. Saka's a very good player. He was burnt by Arteta when he had a very small squad and played him when he didn't need to play him in certain games. Right? Played him against Crystal Palace. We didn't need to play him against Crystal Palace in the cup. Didn't need to do that. And this is the problem. And I think if I was Saka myself, I'd be very pissed off with Arteta. I get it that Saka wants to play, but there's certain times when the manager has to turn around and say, "Nah, sorry, mate, you ain't playing. I'm resting you. You've come back from injury. You're not coming out today. Go and sit in the stands with your girlfriend or whatever, right? But you ain't playing today. Don't need you today. Don't need you against this team, right? Rest. I want you to rest up." Personally, for me, with that injury that Saka had, when he had that grade 3 hamstring, he had surgery, right? I'd have said, "You're not playing the rest of the season now. You're not playing, no more. You're going to sit down, you're going to rest, go on holiday, go abroad, go to Saudi, go wherever you want to fucking go. But you ain't playing no more." But no, Arteta did because he had to. And that's his fault. That's his fault he had a small squad. He made the statement, Kenny. Did he not? I don't want a big squad.
Facts. Kenny, what do you think of this one?
Pep's like that. Him and Pep and managers in general don't want big squads because they want continuity of selection. It's a so-called trust for those three managers. You know what I mean? They don't really, you know what I mean? When you get your circle of trust, you're undroppable. And to be honest, give Pep his due. He has been right because the people who he's placed in his so-called trust have given him trophies. They gave him a treble. You know, come up 3 seasons ago. They give him league titles. They give him domination of our game. So he's not a bad judge. Mick Arteta's got a so-called trust.
Yeah.
If Mick Arteta's going to use I finish second as a CV, then yes, his circle of people he's trusted have got him where he needs because, you know, that's his trophy. You know, we'll find out if we can go one better with his circle of trust.
But we yet to see. We will see. We will see. Well, big up. That was a good comment. Paris is saying, "I play him every day. He's talking about Max Dowman. I just need to see if he is fit like Yamal to play game after game. That's all." Javi would push the Yamal 60 minutes every week, and at 17, he got him started. Listen, man, I agree with that. I'll be real with you, Paris. I'm one of the people that wants him for 60 minutes. I want more than 20. Do you know what I'm saying? Pause. Because he does get you. He does get you that. He gets you off your seat, and he's dangerous. He's always attacking players. Do you know what I'm saying? He's always going for the player. He's always going for the player. There's no sideways with him or just playing the ball back. You know how usually these wingers nowadays are just passing the ball back to the right back. Their pass accuracy is 99. Do you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This guy actually takes on plays. He gets penalties. He got a penalty yesterday. But Ravante saying front three been poor for England, as well as Eze. Fair enough. Dazza saying Joe Cole looked more like Dazza on the bench with Gaza on the field. Big up Dazza, man. Big up Dazza. AFC saying ready cooked meal, cooked microwave meals have had more minutes than Ethan. Yeah. Do you remember that one where like people came out and said, I don't know who leaked it, but it was like, oh, Ethan came late to training once.
Yeah.
He's a kid. He's a kid. You arm around him, you talk to him. Yes, there is time to punish, just like your father. There's time he punishes you, and there's time he takes you out and treats you to a Mackey's. Do you know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Or takes you out somewhere. But there needs to be balance. That's the thing. I don't know what his problem is with Ethan, to be honest. There was so many games that Ethan could have came in and did something. I just don't know.
Brentford at home was like was. I was obviously it's a fact that I was at the game because I'll tell you when I was there. Oh, when I was overseas, I'll go every game. Yeah, no, boring, but from my vantage point, I did go to my mate next to me. I said, right, in a setting off, if he plays like that, and his manager is trying to guide him into positions by any technique he likes to do, and he was actually telling him off and shouting at him, he won't get many minutes in the second half. And it wasn't even 60 minutes gone, he was substituted. And then it was a case of him not being able to get the games that he needed. He wasn't able to use an impact thing because off the ball, because that's when Brentford came into the game. You know, they were keeping it tight. They were goal down, came in the game. If they believed in themselves, they could have won it. So if I'm not saying it was just Dan O'Ethan, but it was he gave his manager no option but to leave him out of games because of the fact that, you know, there was just too much space coming down his side, down the left, especially in that first half. And the second half, it didn't improve. Hence the fact that his time was up. It's a shame, but that's the manager for you. We saw it happen with Pepe. If you think about it, Saka is playing in Pepe's position. Inject that into your veins.
Facts,
Yeah,
man.
Good point.
Padron saying if Josh was serious, then he would have sacked this clueless clown Arteta. Patience. That's why we got the Italian guy here. He's got the cheese wire and everything. Big up to Norms. Do you know what I'm saying? He's waiting. He's waiting patiently. He's gave him everything he wants. Any manager, any decent manager with this squad would win an FA Cup, would win a Carabao Cup, would do something in the Champions League. That has CV, that has a style of play. I just don't understand this guy. But anyway, let's move on. Big up views as well. Big up views, man. Smash the lights up. Rosa's saying, do you guys think Pep is looking a bit washed? Or do you think City will find their level before Arsenal play them? I think because Rodri's come back, I think maybe City would change. Do you know what I'm saying? It depends on Rodri, really, because City's all built on that player. That's why before, do you remember when Pep said my most important player in Barcelona was Busquets?
Yeah.
Do you remember that one? So I think that's the way they play. They need that number 6. What's your thoughts?
But he's the one who's the conductor of the orchestra. However, one of the things that Man City do well is off the ball, they run. They've been out running a lot of games. I think that's where it went wrong last season. Even with him, and you think he started the Brighton game, but you know what I think of Man City? I don't want to sort of like jump the gun here, but last season there were certain games where they went 1-0 up, and because they didn't kill teams, it gave teams the impetus to come at them. Remember Brighton last week? They were a comfortable 1-0 until that penalty went in, and then it was a case of they didn't get the second date to go and try and win the game. Brighton came on top of them. They're on the better side. And I've seen that quite a lot with Man City last season, where they can't see games out. They can't put teams to the sword as much as they were, you know, like a couple of seasons before, and when they were in their pomp under Pep. And I think even with Rodri in the side, I just look at the runners as well, the energy in that midfield. It's not there. Even with Rodri, it's not there.
Jez, what's your thoughts on this one?
Well, yeah, it's a very good point. I think that maybe after this season, Pep, he might want to change the scenery because, you know, historically, all managers at some point leave. And it might be that if he achieves something this season, let's say he wins an FA Cup, just hypothetically, I think, you know, he ends up, say, second, third in the Prem, gets to quarterfinals, semi-final, Champions League. I think he'll walk out the door and say, right, I've done my time. I need a new challenge now. I need a new challenge. Would I take him at Arsenal all day long and twice on a bloody Sunday? Right. No problem at all on that one. And I'd welcome it. I would welcome it. But I wouldn't say he's lost his talent. I think maybe he's lost his ambition. There does come a point in time where things get boring, not only for players, but also for the manager. And maybe he will do his best, as he will. Of course, he will do his best. Of course, he will. But maybe it's now time to move on to a different challenge. And we all know in our workplaces, in our jobs, sometimes it gets a bit stale. And you think, oh, fuck it, I need to do change somewhere. I need to do something different now. Whatever job it is. And that's no different to a football manager who thinks, I've achieved greatness at this club. I've won everything I could possibly win. Winning a treble. I mean, come on, man. Jeez. That's something else, isn't it? And maybe this guy's now thinking, I'm not saying he is thinking this. This is just me, pontificating. That maybe come the end of this season, he'll go, I need to move on now.
100%, 100%. At some point, it all happens to us, like you said. But big up to Danny for the super chat. Thank you for the 50 euros. Big up Rashid. Arteta's most sackable offense is playing. You know which one I like. This is the one I like, Danny. This is for you. This is the one.
No, we don't win this match because here, one player here, totally free, and the other here, and Gabi has to come to stop the shot. It's focus, guys. Focus and heart. I don't ask you anything else. Nothing else. But I want to see a different team there, guys. A completely different team. A team. Now I don't see a team. I don't see a team that wants to play in the Champions League.
Look at how he's only talking to Nuno Tavares. Why? Why? Why was he bullying Nuno Tavares there?
Looking at that clip, we all know where that comes from.
Yeah.
The players to me are looking at him like, are you some sort of prick? You know what I mean? Dancing around, shouting in people's faces, right? And he's like, you can see some of them, they're like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Now, it's a well-known fact. At half-time, this is a fact, Arsene Wenger used to walk into the changing room at half-time. If Arsenal weren't playing well, and they not say fuck all, he'd just stare at people. Just stare at them. And he'd have stood there, and people would be thinking, really? What's going on? And then he'd just say nothing. Because he knew what. No, let me start again. I'm cocking this up. The players knew what Arteta expected from them. Right? He didn't have to say anything. And they'd go, they'd be looking like, around, what the fuck? He ain't saying nothing. And that's a well-known fact of what he used to do. He'd just stand there for 15 minutes, half time, and say nothing. And the team would go out and improve and win. This manager prancing about, right, in the changing room, drawing on his little bloody board, doesn't do anything. Shouting in people's faces. You can see some of them players are like, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
We're losing because of you. You're the problem. BOK is saying Elliot and Morgan Rogers swap deal on the rise. Wow. Hey, let's not help that. Big up to you, BOK, by the way. Thanks for the super chat. But let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's just hope that doesn't happen, because that Liverpool squad is looking scary. That's scary. That's real scary. Tell Terry Flewers to talk about Liverpool and say that they're scary.
Yeah, but you know what's happened? With people like Terry, and his new apprentice. He's that guy who supports Tottenham. What's his name? Henry, whatever he calls himself. Everyone now, and that goes for Goldbridge as well, and everyone else. Arsenal are the gift that keeps on giving, especially in terms of social media fans. Our presence on social media is just unbelievable. Gary Neville was right when he said there's how many Arsenal YouTube channels are there? He's right. I do think this season is going to be a season where everything we do is going to be scrutinised. Our podcast will be the most watched. Our fan reactions will be the most watched. our watch alongs will be the most watched. You know, this is a season where just, you know, I think where everyone's going to draw the line in the sand and think, you know what, Arsenal got to do something this season. They'll be looking at our reactions, you know, a lot. But the reason why it is because people, and the reason why, you know, those guys talk about Arsenal, because that's the money shot. You know, some of these guys got two channels. Some of them, one's got a Man United channel, and then one's got a general channel where the non-United money comes in. And which club brings in non-United money, the most views and most attraction? Arsenal. Because of the fact that our fans are so on social media. So when you've got people like Fleurs, Henry, whatever he calls himself, when they talk about Arsenal, it's money made. When Goldbridge talks about it, it's money made. And they know that if they praise Arsenal and say referees have got it in for Arsenal, they've been lucky with injuries. Arsenal fans who love people talking about Arsenal when they're only praising them will watch their stuff. They love it. Oh, look at them. And then they'll say, these lot are more Arsenal than you guys, and you're meant to support the club. That's what they're playing at. That's their game. That's their game. Even some of the Arsenal, you know, podcasters, they don't criticise anything, do they? They praise everything, and then they even put ice on the cake of Mikel's decisions and over-egg the pudding. But that's what pays the way.
Facts. It's always excuses. The book of excuses. I'm going to start that one. That's going to be in the next move. But Screenplay is saying, big up, Jez. Great to see your channel grow. I hate the Arsenal that we're seeing right now, I'm guessing he's saying. But always tune in into Jez shows because of the back in the day stories. Big up, mate.
Yeah.
Big
A
up,
lot
man.
of people love them. A lot of people love the old Journey shows. I've got loads of them. Kenny's got loads of them. We can always talk about them back in the day. And yeah, they are fun. Some of them are little snippets, you know what I mean? But yeah, I enjoy doing them, mate. I enjoy them. It's fun.
Big up Screenplay, man. Big up Screenplay. Paris is saying Arteta isn't a guy that learns from his mistakes. How many times has he repeated the same tactics, game plans, and with the same starting 11? A lot. I'd rather have him learn from our wins, like Madrid. That's the thing about Arteta. Not he doesn't learn. He played this 3 DMs, for example. He played it. He played the 3 DMs, and it didn't work before against the Bournemouth. How do you think it's gonna work against Liverpool? Do you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It is what it is. He's saying the league isn't getting any easier. The likes of Tottenham are getting ready for new ownership. Oh, that's a big problem. Or how do you feel about that one, Kenny? Daniel Levy leaving.
Well, it's funny to say that because I was I believe I'm now hearing that it's been something that's been in the making for maybe a month or two, and they just wanted to get the managers, you know, on board, you know, get the season started, and they make a decision. At first, I thought it had a lot to do with the fact that they'll get a new ownership in. But what I'm hearing is that Jolis's children just want to, they want to be more involved. And in essence, they said, well, we're here now, we're taking over. And they basically told them where to go. You know what I mean? They told them that, yeah, we want to be the face. And that's what happened. You know, got them to do all the work, got them to build that wonderful stadium. But I've been there quite a few times for Arsenal games, obviously. And I've been for the boxing a couple of times. Easily a better stadium than ours, but it's more modern. But, and in the fact that whatever you say about the man, he's not a football. He hasn't brought football success to Chelsea, to Tottenham. But from a business point of view, even without Champions League football, they were a financial powerhouse. You know what I mean? And then can you imagine what would be like if they actually won things on a regular basis? God forbid win the Champions League before us or get into the league. But they're going to be that. He's left them in a good financial state. You can't deny it. They're not bankrupt. They're probably of the same sort of financial setting as us.
Mm.
And you think about it, they've had NFL there, they've had concerts, boxing, of course, they've had the rugby league final. So he's been successful from a footballing point of view. He's been bad, very bad. I know a lot of Spurs fans who say good riddance to bad rubbish, because towards the end, they were going to protest. They wanted him out. They saw him as a stumbling block to them getting success. So from an Arsenal point of view, seeing Spurs fans frustrated, it is quite funny because the heat's off us. But saying that, you never know, because when the kids take over, just because they're not very good at what they do, so don't be surprised in about a year's time that they're prepared to sell the club.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
100%. The Millet is saying if you take away the trophies won in 8-year period between 1930 and 1938, would you then class Arsenal as a top team? This is not for me. This is for Jez. Jez, what's your thoughts? I mean, Kenny as well, but
Kenny, honestly, that is a big question. One, I would have to say, I agree with that. You'd have to look back and say, well, if we hadn't won the 3 league titles on the bounce, the FA Cups under that management of George Allison and Herbert Chapman, then that's taken a major chunk away of Arsenal's achievements. Huge. Because then the only time we won again was in 48 FA Cup, 53 FA Cup, 53, 54, I can't remember now. And then in the dark ages until we did the double. So I'd have to sit there and question this, because I'd have to say no, we wouldn't be. Kenny, I don't know what your view is on that.
Well, he's come with an excellent point, because obviously when you think about Arsenal, we were only a period of domination is that period that the Millet 9257 mentioned, and he's got a very pertinent point. He can even go as far as to say that for a lot of times during our history, there's been lots of gaps between us winning trophies. From 1953 to 1970, didn't win anything.
No.
Anything. From about 1971 to 1989, we didn't win the league. We haven't won the league since 2004. That's come up to 22 years. We went 9 years without winning trophies under Arsene Wenger, who some people say alongside George Graham was our best ever manager. In between Arsene Wenger winning the double in 98, we didn't win anything until 2002 when he won the double again. So there has been gaps in terms of our history. And we're in a 6 year of not winning anything now. And let's not forget, 1979 to 87, we didn't win anything either. So it is a personal point that this guy's making. There is way too many gaps in our history when it becomes just trophies, let alone league titles. You know what I mean? It's not good enough for a club of our size and our reputation.
100%. 100%.
Do you know, the Millet, I've never ever thought about it like that. Never thought about it. And that is a fantastic point. Kenny's just nailed it. Yes, way too many gaps. I mean, you think 1953, excuse me, right down to the League Cup final 68, 67, Swindon Town? And we lost to Leeds United in the League Cup in 68, 69. Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly great, is it? I mean, bear in mind, in the 60s, we had some shit managers, Billy Wright and all that lot. But yeah, Kenny, you bang on, man. There have been some vast gaps in the years where we've actually achieved success. Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, Millet, if that's the case. Yeah.
That's a great comment. That one of the best. One of the best today. Tenaji saying 750k views for Jez. Let's go.
What, this
Big
show?
up.
That can't be right.
I don't know. Maybe all of the videos combined. I don't know how he knew that, but
Yeah, it's got to be, man.
But anyway, yeah, big up to you though. Big up to you. Big up Kivo as well. Big up Kivo. This is interesting because I thought about it. I thought about this as well. Instead of asking the players, "Do you want to win the competition?" he asked them, "Do you want to play the competition?" But then people would tell you, "Oh, because we were out of the Champions League, as in he wants us to go back to the Champions League." Or whatever. That's the kind of mentality we're dealing with. But listen, guys, it's been a hell of a show. It's been a hell of a show. Of course, big up to both of you legends for giving your time. It's already 1 hour, 40 minutes. Shit, that went so quick. That went super quick. I did not feel that. But we'll end it
Oh,
with
it's
this.
better than watching England play.
Oh,
Watching the second half of England's game against Andorra, I tell you that, it's much more interesting as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
not bad.
They're saying IFTV commentators are saying that Madueke had a great game. Apparently, I just saw that in the chat. But yeah, 100%.
I think he got man of the match. He was on the ball a lot. I think the problem is with the Madueke situation is that our expectations and what he does for his coaches is night and day. I think the modern coaches give you massive performances if you work hard off the ball when we're not in possession, and then when you're on the ball, you do try to create things and you do create chaos. Doesn't mean you create anything; you create chaos. And I think if that's the modern requirements, I suppose he did have a good game. But again, you look at the FIFA ratings, you see, well, playing Andorra, why aren't we beating them 8-0? Like we used to beat Turkey 8-0 back in the 80s. Not one of footballers are no fools, mate. Everyone's got a video camera, everyone's a scout, and no one wants to get, you know, our boxers don't want to get beaten up. That's when they take a knee or take a knee when they're not hit that hard. They don't want to be hit too hard, or they just hold because they don't want to hit too hard. Well, teams like Luxembourg, Andorra, Liechtenstein don't want to be beating 8-0 every time. So they're going to make themselves difficult.
Ronaldo loves those teams.
Yeah. Ronaldo scored today again?
Yeah, he scored, and they were actually singing Messi, 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 and he got. Yeah, you shouldn't do that to Ronaldo. Never wind him up. Never wind him up because he's the kind of guy that when you wind him up, he gets more focused. I saw that in him and Zlatan as well. But yeah, hey, big up, what a show, what a show. It's been 1 hour 40 minutes, like I said. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Hey, who's live? Because apparently no one's live. Is it because it's Saturday or what? Why is nobody live? I don't understand. Maybe I'll just send them
time in it. It's international football, so a lot of people are taking a break. You know what I mean?
Oh, fair enough. Big up anyway. Big up all the man. Them big up Kivo. Big up Danny. Big up everyone in the chat as well. Big up Sil. Big up Cop. Big up BOK, Zay, all of you lot. But yeah, Kenny, thank you for being here. Any last words?
It's my pleasure. You know, like I said, I nearly missed it because I looked at it. I was late and night angry. I got a message from Rashid. Yeah, of course I'm going to say yeah.
Thank you. Wasn't you live with Deluded Guna?
Oh no, Deluded Guna. What he's done is that Deluded Guna, he does the highlights of the show because because me and DJB were on a show on Wednesday, but I think the highlight is the Martinelli question. You know, that's the $64,000 question. What do you do with Martinelli? You know, I think quite a lot of people tapped out on him. Not everyone. There's still people who keep the faith, but me tapped out on Martinelli a long time ago. But don't be surprised that Newcastle way he plays.
Oh, please. I'm tired of Martinelli on the left. I'll be real with you. I'm so tired. I used to like him, but it is what it is. It comes to a point where like everybody leaves. Okay, everybody leaves. Some people, it's just football. If if you're not performing, you sit on the bench. It's just how it is. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, big up to everyone locked in. Jezza, what you got coming up?
I might be doing a late night solo show tomorrow night. I quite like doing them late at night because I just do them on my own, and I much as I love having guests on, it makes it even better for me. But I just thought, well, yeah, I might just do a question and answer show tomorrow night. People come in, ask the questions. I probably won't be able to answer them, but never mind. And then, of course, Tuesday night is the old school show with Kenny, DJ B and Shane. And this week we've got special guest is Northside is joining us. Do a show on that one. And then I've got a quiz to do, Kenny. I've got it done. I just got to find a date when we can do it.
I'm always available for your quizzes, and I always make myself available. You know, because I said
you hold the crown.
The thing about it is that I need to get out a bit more. My biggest problem is I probably didn't have the childhood or the sort of like early adulthood that I should have had, because if I had those early adulthoods and a good childhood, I don't think I would have won any of your quizzes. But I just love football so much. Football's fun. It's a great sport. You know, I think
it is an Arsenal only quiz. Be fair,
I actually was better, but I feel privileged that I can say that I've watched great play. I've seen Maradona play, saw videos of Pele, and I get to watch Mbappe. So young fans who've never watched Pele and Maradona, I've got that. I can talk to them about that. They won't believe me, but I'm lucky that I can still watch this eras of players and still reminisce about the eras of the great players previously.
Facts.
Fair enough. Big up everyone that's locked in. We're just gonna redirect to JSY. They're talking about Ireland versus Hungary. So yeah, ultimate clash. They're talking about it. So live watch along. Go check it out, people, and have a great evening. And yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the Leeds lady, isn't it? She's the Leeds United lady.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I watch her, but big up to everyone, man. And we're out, people. Good evening to everyone.